How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Sick Eric Tech, and today we're going to be talking about the LG Velvet going into 2024. Is it still worth it, and are you still carrying your older LG device, particularly the LG Velvet, and are you still using it continuing on to 2024? We're going to be talking about the specs of this device, going on over the cameras, the display, and the speakers, to see if it still holds up today and if you can still get another year out of this device. So stick around, guys. Let's go ahead and go into the specs. LG Velvet going into 2024. Let's go. So the LG Velvet, as we know, came out about 3 years ago. This is an older device, and it came out I believe it was around 2020, but it was one of LG's last devices. And after this, we got the Wing. And other than that, this is one of LG's last legacy devices before they shut down and stopped making smartphones. And this was a really unique device, especially by the design of this device. As you can see with the water drop camera layout, the curved edges on here, it was very elegant and very sleek, and a lot of people love this device. But when you turn it around, you got these notches on the top, you get this thick bezel up top and at the bottom, but you do get a nice curved display with some reasonable size bezels on the side, so that's a good thing. But a lot of people thought that this looked a little dated with that water drop notch. Now, for me, I really don't care, and a lot of people don't care. They just overlook that just because you still get a really nice display. You get a 6.8-inch POLED display with a resolution of 1080 by 2460, and it comes in about 395 pixels per inch. Very nice, beautiful design, but it is only at 60 hertz. Why LG did not go on with a 120 hertz refresh rate while everybody else was, who knows? But a lot of people don't care about that. They still think this is a fantastic display, and it is. It looks really good. You get some nice, accurate colors on here. It gets bright enough outside. It's not the brightest display out there, but still it'll do the job in direct sunlight. And the colors on here are absolutely fantastic. You can see, very nice and beautiful display on here. Even though it is only capped out at 60 hertz, it's still a very nice POLED panel. You also do get always on display options on here as well, so you can have an always on display with your clock and things like that on there, showing some information and some toggles here at the bottom. And you get an in-display fingerprint sensor, which is optical, no facial recognition, unfortunately. Why LG again decided to leave that out, I do not know, but it wasn't present on the LG V60 as well, or on the Wing, which is just crazy. I don't know why they did that, but you do get your options for pins and your in-display fingerprint sensor, which works for the most part most of the time. Sometimes it won't read it, but for the most part it'll read it just fine. And you could also turn on smart lock if you don't want to, use that, and you can bypass all the stuff. If you have a Bluetooth watch or something connected to it, you could bypass all of that stuff using the smart lock feature. So this device is STD MIL 810G compliant, so it is very durable. It is still glass on the front and on the back. Might be a little bit of a thinner glass, but I would definitely consider using a case when using this device, just because it's so slippery and thin. But it looks really nice, especially with this curved back and the curved front. Very nice and beautiful design. LG really knocked that out of this park, trying to make this thing look very luxurious and like a piece of candy. It just looks really, really nice on here. It looks like jewelry on the back. It is a fingerprint magnet with this glossy finish on the back. I kind of wish it would have been a matte finish, but it is what it is. As you can see, it does pick up fingerprints a lot. This is the T-Mobile variant. Now, LG did decide to use 2 different variants with the LG Velvet. The Sprint and Verizon, and I believe the AT&T versions, got the Snapdragon 765 variant, while the T-Mobile variant is the Dimensity 1000 MediaTek chip, which is the MediaTek Dimensity 1000C chipset. Now, why LG decided to make 2 different variants, I did not know, but I think T-Mobile wanted to undercut the other carriers when it comes down to price, because for some reason this variant was cheaper than the Snapdragon variant, but this variant is missing a lot of key features, especially when recording video. You don't get the bokeh audio and the ASMR mode when you're recording video on this variant, and you also do get a smaller battery on here. This battery is 4,000 milliamp hour battery compared to the 4,300 milliamp hour battery. I think it was 4,300 on the Snapdragon variant, so keep that in mind. And the Snapdragon variant is going to be running Android 13, maybe even Android 14, but the T-Mobile variant is still stuck on Android 12 with an August 2023 security patch. I do not know if T-Mobile just dropped this completely, and I have not gotten an update since then, which is kind of sad. So if you're on the T-Mobile variant, you will be stuck on Android 12. A lot of people don't care about that. And the security patch is still pretty recent, but still Android 12, while the other variants, you probably will be running Android 14 or Android 13, the latest on there. So keep that in mind. T-Mobile variant and the Snapdragon variant are definitely two different devices when it comes down to the Velvet. As far as storage goes, you do get 6 gigabytes of RAM on here with 128 gigabytes of internal storage. With UFS 2.0 on here, you do get a micro SD card support up here on top, so you can further expand that storage, which is fantastic. A lot of flagship devices aren't doing that nowadays when it comes down to expandable storage. All these budget devices are, but for some reason, you have to pay for more storage. Now with the LG Velvet, you do get the option to expand your storage, which is really, really nice. You also do get a headphone jack for really good audio. Granted, you don't get that quad DAC that you got on the V60, but still audio through this headphone jack is still a lot better than some of these budget devices with headphone jacks, I'll tell you that. You also do get LG's 3D sound engine on here too, if you want to tweak the audio more on this device using the speakers and using that. Bluetooth audio actually sounds really good on here as well, so you won't be disappointed. But you have that option to have a headphone jack to plug this into your car, to use some really nice headphones on here and get some excellent audio. Now, as far as speakers go, they do sound really good, so let's go ahead and take a listen at the speakers. That way you guys can see how good these speakers are. So what do you guys think of the speakers of the LG Velvet? I think they sound really good. Might sound better than some devices nowadays, but this phone and the speakers and the audio still hold up and might be better than some devices that you get out today. Now going on over to the cameras, a lot of people love the cameras on the LG Velvet. I think they're really good. You do get a manual camera mode on here, but you do not get manual video mode, unfortunately. On this variant, I don't know if you got it on the Snapdragon variant, but on this variant, you do not get no manual video mode. Kind of sucks, but using manual camera mode, you're able to get some really nice shots on the LG Velvet. I'll be showing you some pictures right now of some pictures taken on the Velvet, and you can tell the difference between using auto and the manual camera mode. It just looks really good. You're able to tweak the ISO on here and tweak everything when it comes down to manual focus and things like that when using manual camera mode, and the pictures come out really, really nice. Video still comes out really good. You're able to record up to 4K 60 on the rear and 4K 30 frames per second on the front facing camera. 48 megapixel main sensor. You got an 8 megapixel ultra wide and a 5 megapixel depth sensor on the rear. Your front facing camera is going to be a 16 megapixel front facing camera. So you get all the specs. The ultra wide could be a little bit soft when it comes down to photography. It's not the best ultra wide in the world. You're able to get more in the shot, but pictures don't come out as crisp and clear just because it is a lower resolution of a camera. But the photos on here are still really good and compete to a lot of the phones coming out today. You don't get a telephoto lens. Unfortunately, that would have been fantastic, but you do not get that on here. I believe the LG Velvet 2 Pro was giving us a telephoto lens, but that phone never came out, which is kind of sad. Oh, I really want that phone. There's one on eBay that I'm seeing and I have my eyes on, but I don't know if I want to get it just because I don't know if it's real or not. But yeah, the LG Velvet 2 would have been an absolute beast. But let's go ahead and continue on here. So you get Bluetooth 5.1 on here. Actually, audio sounds really good on here, like I mentioned earlier. USB Type-C charging. And going on over to the battery, you get a 4,000 milliamp hour battery compared to the 4,300 milliamp hour battery that you got on the Snapdragon variant. The battery life on here is a little hit and miss. I found myself having to charge this at least once a day when I'm at work and coming home with about 30% battery life after an 8-hour day at work. If I didn't charge it, it'll probably be at 15 or 20%. And that's just playing music on here, watching some videos, you know, going on the internet and things like that. But battery life is definitely a weak point of this device. It lasts, but depending on your usage, you might have to be charging this midday just to get a little bit extra juice. But you do get 25-watt wired charging on here, so you get relatively fast charging. You also get 9-watt wireless charging on here as well. Not the fastest, but it's there if you wanted to wirelessly charge this device. And you did get a charger in the box, so if you got this brand new, you already have the charger on here, so that's fantastic. And as far as colors go, this is the Aurora black color. It also came in a white color as well. The Snapdragon variant came in a lot of nice colors: green, red, black, and white, I believe, as well. It was like a sunset illusion that it also came in as well. And this one just came in this black and the white variants. So the LG Velvet going into 24, I think it's still a fantastic device. I still use this. I've been using this for a week just so I could do this video and get an idea of how this device still works, taking some pictures on it and, you know, getting a feel for it again. And I think it's still a great device going into 2024. A lot of people are still using this. A lot of people are still using an LG G6 and a G7, which is crazy. Kudos to you people still using those older devices that are probably not even supported, stuck on Android 9 or something. But you guys are still rocking it just because it is LG and people love LG. And yes, I will still continue to make LG videos just because I feel like it. Until these devices blow up or just stop working, I'm still going to make some videos on it. And if you guys stay tuned, I will have a blast from the past as far as LG goes, comparing the old versus the new. I'm just going to leave it at that. An old LG device coming, and we're going to be comparing it between the latest and greatest LG device, or one of the latest and greatest LG devices. So make sure you guys are subscribed with that bell icon clicked, that way you don't miss out on that video, which is going to be coming probably around next week, I think. Hopefully I get this device in, and we're going to be doing a blast from the past. It's going to be really fun. Yeah, I haven't had this device in so long. It's been so long since I even laid my hands on one. So that should be exciting. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. That is quite all right. And I will see you next time here on Sick Eric Tech. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all of that stuff. Peace.